Alrighty, what is going on, my peoples?
What's up with it, my bows? Peebo!
Peebles! All right, well, welcome to another episode of the Millennial Man podcast. Your host here, Derek Chard, alongside my co-host, Bryson Womack. And Bryson, I was thinking the last episode we recorded, we were talking about words we used back in the 90s and 2000s. We were talking about just like stupid things we did that,
Oh, yeah,
kids
like
do the
getting
6-7.
mad.
Yeah, like we did all these weird things. But I was thinking about it, and one thing that we didn't bring up, which was a huge part of my childhood, is getting pantsed, man. I think it was nut taps and getting pants, but getting pants, I was deathly scared of getting pantsed in public, in school, in front of the girls. What thoughts on that?
I don't know if we're going back into things that happened to us or the stupid shit we did, but yeah, you're getting pantsed was I mean, that is when I first started considering what type of underwear I'm wearing to school. Because I was a whitey tighty guy. I was a whitey tighty guy until about 8 years old, but I wanted to be cool and I switched to boxers. But man, when you got pants with boxers, shit went flying quick. So you had to really consider, do I go back to a brief now? And yeah, that was a big deal. What kind of underwear am I gonna wear? And
Yeah,
I was gonna be
I
thinking about
agree. I agree. I remember the first time I told my mom, I was like, "No, mom, no more whitey tighties," and she's like, "What?" I'm like, "Mom, it's not
not cool.
cool anymore. I gotta wear boxers." You know, and part of that, which is going to be part of this topic, is because like it was a thing to sag your pants a little bit. So like you couldn't do it with whitey tighty. So you had to have some
The
boxers.
boxers had that little like fluff, the little
Yeah,
outside of, yeah.
but they could also have nice like cool patterns. Like
No
they were a
one
little bit of a
sagged.
fashion statement, especially when you sagged your pants. But you're right. On the other hand, you didn't realize getting pants with boxers on, there's a good chance that both your pants and your boxers came down. And so that was a risk. So it was like, am I fashion or am I utility? Because that's a dangerous combination.
Man, I don't know if we really knew what we were doing with fashion in the 90s and for me being in middle school and going into high school, but it was all over the place. I think I started off as a very like athletic shorts, Umbros, and t-shirt, and then when started to get closer to that middle school, I was like, all right, I'm gonna wear collared shirts now, and I'm gonna wear my white under tee, and I gotta have my polo khakis. And my Saucony's was my tennis shoe, and I gotta make sure my laces are looking just. I mean, there was just so much going into it, and then what was I gonna do with all that swag? Fumble a conversation with a girl? I mean, like,
I can't believe you just
what was
said
your style?
I was all over the place, but I love the fact that you just said Umbros. Like I did not even remember Umbros until you just said Umbros. And then you said Saucony's, and then my
Oh,
mind immediately went to New Balance because I remember like this new type of New Balance came out, which I think is making a comeback, by the way. But this new type of New Balance shoes came out, and then they were like a hit. But dude, I was all over the place. I think I did everything, right? So I'm like looking back to you know, JNCO jeans and skater shoes. Like I remember wanting Osiris or Boardwalk shoe or like whatever the skater sneakers were, and like baggy jeans, baggy pants. But then there was a time where I went to the polo and it was pop collar and God forbid double pop collar, two polos. I remember kind of the hip hop phase. Wearing jewelry above your shirt and maybe a little sideways hat tilt or like I remember going through so many phases, probably between like end of grade school, like fifth grade, all the way through high school, and even into like it was just it was so many phases in one. It was
It was
insane for me.
it, it was honestly a point of my life that was so confusing because I feel like I'm right back to 5 to 7 year old Bryson. Like 5, 7 year old Bryson was like, you walked in your closet, you just grabbed the first thing that was on top, you put it on, you walked out. And
Yeah,
now I just have the same polos hanging in my closet. I just put on which pairs of jeans are there. I don't really think about it. But man, there was that point when they started coming out with all these like companies like Hollister and Abercrombie and uh oh, dude, I mean, there was a point there where we just got downright dangerous with plaid.
yeah.
Um, Plaid was everywhere. There was cargos. You had to frost your tips and wear a, a little chain. Oh God, it was.
Dude, Abercrombie and Hollister and American Eagle and Aeropostale maybe was still around there. Like that was, I remember that being rough because that shit was so expensive and my mom wouldn't buy me that stuff. She's like, no way I'm paying $60 for one shirt. And like, I remember I wanted it so bad because it was cool, just like the brand was cool. And then, dude, frosting tips, I remember like my mom wouldn't let me do that, but there was this stuff called Sunnin that was like a mixture of like lime, lemon juice, and like something else. You like sprayed it in your hair, and if you went out in the sun for a long, it would like kind of bleach your hair or kind of turn it. And my mom probably didn't have the heart to tell me as a kid, like this chubby, freckly kid, like probably not a good look for you. Like, yeah, like the skinny tan kid could probably pull it off, but don't do it, Derek. But I did it and probably looked like an idiot. But dude, yeah, like I think fashion and everything. And I wonder, you know what? I'm thinking about this. I wonder if the generations today, because I think it's just maybe that time in your life where like fashion and what's cool and what's not cool changes quickly, right? Like the thing you bought last year and then you wear the next year and then like you see some people and they're like, "Oh, bro, that's not cool anymore." Like that's not, And you're like, "Wait,
Yeah,
what?" That's
no,
like this is all I have in my closet now because it was cool last year. Now I gotta like now it's not cool anymore.
I
I
was
don't know.
sitting there and I mentioned frosted tips, and I was sitting there thinking, well, you know what? I actually never dyed my hair. I never did frosted tips. I was like, yeah, I was better than. And then I sat here and I was like, oh no, I was the douchebag that grew out my hair and did the blow dryer on the side of the hat so I could get the wings flipping out on my above my ears. And yeah, what a loser.
Well, the wingtips are back now for sure, or they were. Who knows? It's always changing. It's like the mullet coming back, but
Oh, dude, well, the mullet is never gonna go away. I mean, that is, and no one rocked it better than Ronnie Van Zant. I mean, rest in peace, but God,
yeah.
mullet.
Dude, it was wild. Like I was like thinking of some stuff like, oh, this is big because I was like I went through every phase. The wallet chain. I had one of those. Like when I was in my like it was cool to be a skate. Dude, I could never skate. I pretended, I tried, I could ollie, but like it was cool. And then I got like the wallet with the chain. And I look back now, I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah, no, I remember. I know what you're talking about. And I think, I mean, I still see it, but I felt like it was very popular then. For me, it was a money clip. I remember like getting that first money clip. Like that was the new thing. Or just getting a wallet in general. Like when you got that first wallet, and I mean, obviously, there was the first phase where it was the Velcro trifold. It's ripping open. You got
Yeah.
your Blockbuster card in there. You got your they used to do the, where you had to do the fingerprint. You had like your fake, like your ID essentially or whatever, before now we have social media to keep track of kids. But I was like, oh, well, this kid, how do we identify him when we find him on the street? Like you had nothing in it and then $2 bills. And
Yeah. Yeah.
But when you got
That's
that
wild.
clip,
I do remember that. I remember having a wallet was cool, and then yeah, the Velcro, and then I do remember the money clip too. And you're like, yeah, I got a money clip because I'm just like,
wait,
I don't know where that came from. It had to come like almost like it was cool. Like I had money. Like nah, I just need a money clip to put my cash in or something. Like we had no cash. Like and if we did, it was every penny that we had in one clip, like at all times. But I do remember the money clip thing being like cool and like that was a thing to get for sure, for sure.
but you said
Uh,
you wore Jinko jeans. I can't
yeah,
picture
dude.
Jinko.
Baggy jeans, man. Baggy jeans. I JNCO jeans were I guess kind of in, or they were the brand of the big baggy jeans. Like, I mean, dude, I remember like people would wear. I mean, and a lot of it was probably like the emo skater crowd that they had those. They were like huge, like quadruple their legs, like ridiculously wide jeans. That was mostly JNCO jeans. Um, I didn't wear a ton of those, but I remember them for sure. Like just huge pockets. I think that was cool because I mean, dude, we could go cargo pants. I could remember
What's
I
your freight?
remember
What's your period?
right? Like but big pockets were like legit and JNCO jeans had huge pockets. Dude, I remember I owned, tell me this, did you ever own a pair of zip off pants that went to shorts? I
Oh,
owned a pair of those that were pants, but then you could unzip the legs and then they were shorts. I don't know if I
and
should be proud to say this, but I owned a pair of those for
dude, we
sure.
were cool as shit with those things, man.
Yeah.
It was like, remember you had to go to the locker room and change into your athletic wear for, gym class or whatever? Nah,
Yep.
I walked in there and just unzipped at the knees and I was ready.
That is great.
Oh, God.
You know,
But
you know what I
you know
think
what?
like
You know why the big pockets though? Where were you going to put your Walkman, right?
right? Well, it's funny. We'll get into like we
What's
had
the
a lot more
fashion?
things because now we have a cell phone that does everything. But like you would keep all your different things, like you said, your Walkman or your, then it grew to your iPod or like, and then you had, you needed space for your things. You needed pockets.
Thanks for your things.
Yeah,
But and I think just the fashion in general was flair because I feel like now there's nothing I hate more. I mean, I'm one of those where, I've probably got jeans in my closet that I've had for, 20 years just because, hey, they still fit. They cover me. We're good. But then you put them on now and you're like, you know what? I don't like it when it flares at the bottom around my like ankle. I like a nice tight fit. It's like maybe that's just we just wanted to see how flary we could get. It's like what was that movie Flare? You had to have your flare. The pen waiting.
waiting. I don't even think oh, waning.
Wait, no, the about the servers. The rest they were working
Oh,
the
yeah, 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 yeah. With Dane Cook in that one.
Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah, and Dane Cook.
Is it
Yep.
waiting?
Yeah, he was in Waiting. I'm pretty sure Dane Cook was in
Yeah,
Waiting with Jennifer
Flare. That was
Aniston.
Flare. Maybe
Yeah,
hold
yeah,
on.
yeah.
Hold on. Let's ask Jeeves. Let's make
And
sure we're
so
not.
was
Let's
and
ask Jeeves.
so was that like fat rapper kid or whatever. That was always and he had like frosted tips or whatever. He was like this fat, like what was his name?
Oh my gosh. What about
I think he might
Ryan
have
Reynolds?
no, not Ryan Reynolds.
Ron Reynolds was in it, and then you had Justin Long.
No, but who was that? I think he might have passed away. There was like this fat comedian, like this kid that was in Waiting. And he was always talking to Dane Cook and whatever in the back behind the restaurant by the dumpsters. And
Oh,
he's
the
always
chef, Louis
huh?
Guzman or whatever, the chef.
I don't know. I don't know. But anyway,
Now we're going way off
yeah,
topic, but yeah,
yeah,
Flair. Flair is where that sidebar came from. But
yeah. I was thinking too, though, like, I think what saved me at times from fashion faux pas or whatever, or not, is that I was an athlete because if you're an athlete, you could kind of get away with just like wearing athletic stuff or game day stuff, and because like, all right, well, you play on the basketball team or whatever. Like I could wear a, I think they still have these, but like your snap off pants, right? So you'd buy like snap off pants, and you'd have your, you'd have your gym shorts underneath there, or whatever. Just wear those and be like, well, I play sports, so like, and they're like, all right, you get a pass, like if you don't have like the newest fashion on, because I get it, like you're on the sports team or whatever. I remember
Yeah,
that here and
I played golf, so
there. So didn't pertain as much.
we
I
just
still
actually
remember. Go ahead.
we just weren't there. We missed the whole day of school because we were try, we were going off. But when we were there, we were wearing polos and
Yeah,
khakis and Yankees.
yeah. I still remember in middle school, one of the first times these kids like had Jordans, like these nice Jordans, and it was like the biggest thing. Like, so that was probably right around the time of Jordan, like when it was just starting to get hot, and I was like, wait, what? You have Jordan? Like, what are Jordans? I don't know why that just still sticks in my brain because
So I'm gonna go the opposite direction on this one. And man, rest in peace, Brocky Brock. He passed this past year, my best friend. But sometimes that guy just had a knack for making the most like odd thing cool. And where I'm going with this, he went in Walmart one time and they used to sell these shoes called Athletic Works. They were 8.95, 9.95 Velcro shoes. Just two straps, Velcro. And he put them on one day, came to school, and everyone was like kind of looking at him, was like, dude. And he was kind of, the big athlete guy, funny. Everyone loved him, comedian, this, that. And it was like anyone else walks in with Velcro shoes, like, dude, what are you doing wearing Velcro shoes from Walmart? He's like, these things are $9 and I don't have to waste my time tying shoes. I just strap them up. I shit you not. It was only 1 month and there must have been 30 kids in that
yep,
hallway wearing athletic wear. There was gray, white, and black. $9. And it was like it was cool because it wasn't cool. I don't know. It was like this,
yep.
and that was one like fad that I'll always remember. I never had the aura to really create or start something, but like that guy, like I said, rest in peace. But the athletic work Velcro shoes, I had to throw that plug in. But yeah, Jordan's no total opposite side of that.
No, but to your point there, like I never had that either. Like I look back now, like I was always trying to like follow, like and keep up with fashion. Probably because it wasn't a big deal to me, so I was just trying to pay attention to everyone else that it mattered to them. So I was like, oh, okay, so this is cool now. All right, I'm gonna try like. But
Yeah,
but even in that thing is if I had been more confident in just what I had and wanted to do at that point, I probably could have influenced people the other way. But I was definitely not in no way, shape, or form the influencer at all. I was definitely the follower when it came to fashion. I do remember that. Like I wanted to be cool. Like I wanted to have the clothes that were like, oh, it wasn't like, no, this is what I do and this is why, and then other people followed me. Like, nope, I definitely did the opposite. So
I,
kudos,
I,
yeah.
I was always bland because I didn't want anything to stick out in fear of getting made fun of.
Yeah. No, for sure. For sure. And I was talking to you about that, like, I mean, we talk about sagging the pants. Like, I still remember, like, sagging your pants. If you didn't sag your pants at all, like, you didn't have to be, like, crazy. Like, some people did, like, completely below the whole ass, like which was like, dude, all right, that's. But like, if you didn't have like a slight sag, if you had your pants all the way up around your butt and a belt on, and a tucked in, you were a tucked in shirt, you were a nerd, right? And because I still remember then like going to like family events and seeing my grandma and people, and they're like, pick up your pants, what are you doing? And I'm like, nah, grandma, like this is how the kids do it, like this is cool. And she's like, that's not cool. And I'm like, yeah, it is. But that was a big thing. Like if you wore your pants straight up around your waist, everyone was like, dude, what are you doing? I remember, I don't know if this falls into fashion, but like backpacks, like if you put both straps on your
My
shoulders,
gosh, two
even though that was
straps.
the most comfortable way to wear a backpack, if you didn't do the one strap hanging off the side, you were a nerd. If you put both straps on, you were like, look at him, both
And then
straps
what?
on,
What did the world do? They just created a backpack with one strap, the little triangle backpack.
right?
Gosh,
Wild,
that was a terrible design of a book bag.
wild. You know what I
Um,
also remember
I also
is,
remember, not quite fashion, and sorry to cut you off, but this goes in line with backpack. It was cool to not have a backpack. You had to go to your locker between every class because you wanted to carry just one book.
yep, yep. No, that was like in my mind like almost like so cool and so badass because even like you didn't even come to school with a backpack. So it was like, did you even bring all your books home? Did you even do all your homework? Or like, are you a badass that doesn't even care about
Yeah.
doing your homework? Like, like I just show
No,
up,
I'm
yeah, and
good.
I just grab the one thing I need at the time. Like I'm unprepared, but I don't care. So I think that's how like, but no, I do remember that and being like, oh, that like I think I remember thinking like, oh, that dude's badass. Like he doesn't even bring his books home.
He's an athlete. He wears he has one book.
Yeah. No, but what I was saying is I remember the long sleeve under the short sleeve, which is wild. And I remember it was like almost like some of the long sleeves that were cool to wear under the short sleeve were like the thermal, like it's almost like honeycomb it like I don't know how to describe it. It's like that like almost like thermal underwear fabric like type
Yeah, no, I
thing.
know what you're talking about, like a long john in a
Yeah,
way.
like a long john long sleeve, and then you had like a graphic tee over it. I think that was in like probably the skater era, but like I remember that and my mom being like, you're wearing two shirts, like, and it wasn't even it was like cold or like, so you're just wearing two shirts today. I'm like, yeah, it's cool, mom. She's like, all
I
right,
remember it was like
whatever.
some. I also remember it was just like a big deal to follow dress code, like right the fingertips at your knees for the girls with skirts, the spaghetti strap thing. But I can remember getting in trouble. They didn't even let me in school. It was a back to Abercrombie or Hollis or whatever. It was a shirt that said, "I bust mine so I can kick yours." And I'm in seventh grade, and the vice president was like, "Hey, you're not coming to school today. You got to go home. You got to call your mom." I remember my mom was like furious. It's like, what? She's like, it's referring to ass. It's like, or is it referring to butt? Or I bust my marbles? Or, uh, I bust my bubble? Like, what are you talking about? Like, what are we doing here? And I remember just thinking, like, God, there's all these rules.
That's wild. Yeah, I didn't. So public school, I don't remember a ton of rules. Um, but then I went to private school in high school,
Hmm.
and I thought I was gonna hate it because we had uniforms, like straight up.
I would
Here's what
love
you
that.
go get. Here's the company you go get it from. You literally go to this uniform store. You're gonna get 4 or 5 pairs of khakis. You could wear a white or blue complete button down dress shirt, and then you can either wear a full sweater or like a sweater vest and a tie. And this is your uniform. And I remember I thought I'd hate it, and I did hate it at first. And then I loved it, dude. I loved it
One
because
lesson.
talk about fact, like I didn't even have to think. Like when you're in high school, like you don't want to go to school. You go to school to hang out with your friends. Like I loved it because I just wake up, throw on the same pair of pants, throw on a shirt. All me and my friends, we all left our ties and our sweater vests in our lockers at school. So
Do
like
you
we
wear your
just
tie around your forehead ever?
yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. You just screw around and you're just like, all right, I get into school and like, the administrators were like, oh, where's your time? Like, it's in my locker. Like, I'm coming to get it. Like, and you like makeshifted fix yourself up in school because you're like, I don't care what I look like because everyone else looks like the same idiot that I do. Right. Like, and I thought that was cool because like no one gave a shit what you looked like because you're all wearing the same stupid freaking thing every day.
Now, how do
Which
we
ended
make a
up being
mockery of
ended up
it?
being amazing.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, because then like you didn't have to worry about like, oh, what should I wear today? Like, what's cool? What's am I trying to impress this girl? So I'm gonna wear this today. And like, now you're all wearing the same shit. So like, I ended up loving uniforms, loving it. This is the best thing ever.
I
Best
can
thing
see.
ever.
I never had to wear a uniform. I can see myself falling in line with that just because one less thing you got to think about in the morning. It's like just.
Yeah, and it was like
I
imposed on you. So like,
don't think
it
I've
wasn't
ever
your
put
fault.
something on and taken it off. Like once it's on, it's like, all right, I already put it on. I gotta wear it now. Like I
Yeah.
mean, I just don't have time to do that.
But like, even if you're in public school and you're like, you show up, you decide to wear like sweatpants to school and like look like a bum, people would be like, oh, like, you okay? You look like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people could try to figure out, like,
They
or
would
like,
put you in a stereotype.
yeah, like a stereotype, but even like, oh, like, are you okay? Because you dress like a bum today. Usually you, like, you didn't take the time to like really make yourself look good today. But like, when you're all wearing the same shit and no one cares, like, none of that even matters. That's why I love it. It was just like, yeah, everybody just looks the same. So all right, that's over with. That's out the window. We never even have to even think about that.
Yeah, you didn't have to worry about wearing too much plaid.
You're right, right. Exactly. Or if you wore the same thing, because again,
No. Yeah,
I
there you
didn't grow
go.
up with a lot of money, so like, oh, dude, you wore that shirt on Monday and it's only Wednesday and you're wearing it again. Like, oh, shoot, right? Like, you didn't even have to worry.
You know
None of
how
that
many
even
days
had to enter your mind.
Oh, you think that shirt I wore 2 days in a row is bad? You should know how many days I wore these underwear in a row.
These boxers. Yeah, dude. And yeah, and like boxers, I mean, we started this off with getting pantsed and like I still remember like you had your like plaid boxers, your Abercrombie, your American Eagle, like they were all like different colored plaids. But then I also remember getting like the stupid, funny, or even obscene boxers. And I do remember getting in trouble for that, right? Like having like a pair of boxers that had like a marijuana leaf on it, or like, or like
I
just something
had
stupid. And
here.
then you're
I was
sagging your
just
pants and the teacher sees it and they're like, what are those? And it's like, oh.
I was just about to say I had a pair of silk. They were
Silks.
silk and they went like red, orange, yellow, purple, and they had marijuana leaves all over them. And they were the coolest things in the world. And
Oh,
honestly,
yep,
not comfortable. Like sometimes I'd have to wear briefs under the silk just so
yep,
it'd be comfortable.
yep. No, I remember I went and got a pair of silk and I thought it was the coolest thing in the world because that's when you're first starting to like date girls and stuff. And I still remember be like, yeah, see these babies, they're
Oh,
silk. And like the girls like touching your silk boxers and you're like a kid, you're like, yeah.
and then there was a thing called puberty that happened too. Boxers, silk boxers did not work well.
No.
That was a thing you had to consider.
Yeah.
That was when you learned the old tuck and run.
Yep. Yep. Well, man, we are out of time, but yeah, that's fine. I can't believe we forgot about pantsing and it led into this. But
And then
man,
it led into passion.
fashion's crazy, man. And it's ever changing.
Uh,
But man, this is a good one. This is a good one. So, Bryson, what do we got?
you know, I just want to continue on the New Year's resolution of not drinking. Um, and
No dry Januaries over here.
psych. But no, you know what? Everyone out there, think about what was the worst fashion you had? Throw that in the comment. Like, let's tell us what we missed, forgot. I would love to hear that. But at the end of the day, you know what? Stay classy, my
Stay
millennial.
classy.
Stay classy, my millennial man. And don't forget about you.
Peace.